Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the biggest economic stories of 2025, the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and Mexico. With President Trump back in office, tariffs went up fast and hard, and Mexico found itself right in the crosshairs. But instead of a full-blown trade war, Mexico has managed to navigate this storm with a combination of cool-headed diplomacy, strategic concessions, and smart internal policies. So how exactly is Mexico handling it? Let's break it down. It all kicked off early in 2025. In February, the US slapped a 25% tariff on most imports from Mexico, using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act as the legal basis. The stated reasons? Curbing illegal migration, stopping the flow of fentanyl, and addressing the persistent US trade deficit with Mexico. Additional tariffs hit specific sectors. Steel and aluminum got extra duties, and autos faced the threat of even higher rates. The timing couldn't have been worse for Mexico. The country had just come off a strong 2024, with nearshoring booming and manufacturing investment pouring in. Suddenly, uncertainty froze some of those plans. Economists quickly crunched the numbers. If the tariffs stayed in place all year, Mexican exports to the US could drop by 12 to 15%, and the country's GDP could take a hit of 3 to 4%. That's massive when you consider that nearly 80% of Mexico's total exports go to the United States. But here's the key. Mexico didn't retaliate with blanket tariffs of its own. Instead, President Claudia Sheinbaum chose a very different playbook, one that's been described as cabeza fria or cool head. She emphasized dialogue over escalation, and it worked. Sheinbaum and Trump held several high-level phone calls throughout the spring and summer. Each time, the US agreed to pause or delay the full implementation of tariffs. In March, the administration exempted USMCA-compliant goods until April. Then came another extension. By mid-2025, roughly 80 to 85% of bilateral trade was still flowing tariff-free under the existing USMCA rules. Mexico also stepped up on the issues Washington cares about most: border security and drugs. The government deployed thousands more National Guard troops to the border, ramped up fentanyl seizures, and extradited several high-profile cartel leaders to the US. These moves were seen as good faith efforts to address American concerns without caving completely. At home, this approach has been a huge political win. Sheinbaum's approval ratings have stayed consistently high, between 74% and 85% for most of the year, often spiking during moments of tension. Mexicans have rallied behind her message: protect national interests, stay calm, and don't let the US push Mexico into a corner. But Mexico hasn't just been defensive, it's gone on the offensive in smart ways. One of the biggest moves came in December 2025, when Congress approved steep tariffs, up to 50%, on a wide range of imports from China and other countries that don't have free trade agreements with Mexico. The targets included textiles, steel, auto parts, electronics, and more. Officially, this is about protecting Mexican jobs and reducing a ballooning trade deficit with China. But everyone understands the real game. It makes it much harder for Chinese goods to be rerouted through Mexico to dodge US tariffs. This single policy has earned quiet praise in Washington and could give Mexico serious leverage when the USMCA comes up for review in 2026. Let's talk about the bigger picture of the trade relationship, because it's not all doom and gloom. Even with the tariffs, Mexico remains the United States' #1 trading partner. Total goods trade between the two countries topped $800 billion in 2025. US exports to Mexico actually grew this year, and Mexico has now overtaken Canada as the largest single buyer of American goods. Think about that. American farmers, manufacturers, and energy companies are still shipping billions of dollars worth of corn, soybeans, machinery, and natural gas south of the border. The US trade deficit with Mexico is still large, around $190 billion in recent figures, but it's important to remember that much of this is driven by integrated supply chains. Cars assembled in Mexico often contain 40 to 60% US-made parts. Electronics and appliances follow the same pattern. So when tariffs go up, they don't just hurt Mexico, they raise costs for American companies and consumers too. Speaking of consumers, that's where many Americans have felt the pinch. Prices for fresh produce like avocados, tomatoes, and berries have gone up noticeably. Vehicle prices have crept higher, especially for models with heavy Mexican content. Electronics and appliances have also seen modest increases. Economists have warned that prolonged tariffs could add to inflation and weaken North America's overall competitiveness against China and Europe. But because so much trade stayed exempt under USMCA rules, the damage has been contained. Looking forward, the real make or break moment is the USMCA review scheduled for July 2026. The agreement can be extended for another 16 years, or it can be renegotiated. US trade officials have already hinted at wanting changes, stronger rules on labor standards, intellectual property, and especially transshipment of Chinese goods. Mexico's recent tariffs on China could help smooth the way for a favorable outcome. So, to sum it up, Mexico has faced these 2025 trade pressures with a remarkable combination of resilience and pragmatism. Smart diplomacy has kept the tariffs from becoming permanent and catastrophic. Border cooperation has addressed US security concerns. Internal policies like the China tariffs have protected domestic industries and signaled alignment with American goals. The relationship still has friction. Water rights disputes in the Rio Grande and migration issues aren't going away, but dialogue has prevented a full-blown crisis. As we head into 2026, Mexico stands in a stronger position than many expected at the start of the year. President Sheinbaum has proven she can defend national interests while keeping the door open to the country's biggest trading partner. For the US, this means a stable, cooperative neighbor that still buys more American goods than anyone else. What do you think about how this situation has played out? Do you believe the tariffs have worked, or have they mostly hurt American consumers and businesses? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you found this breakdown helpful, and subscribe for more updates on global economics and trade. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.